I'm sure if you've clicked onto this video, you've at least heard of fanfiction, like what? For anyone who hasn't, fanfiction is fictional stories in popular fictional or non-fictional media written by fans of that media. In this video, I plan to specifically talk about fanfiction in relation to Minecraft YouTube and Minecraft YouTube creators. With that said, let's continue onto the video. From what I could find, the first ever fanfiction was likely written in the Star Trek fandom from before the internet was even a thing, in like the early 1950s, 1960s. One of the earliest fanfiction sites, however, was fanfiction.net, which was established in like 1998, I think. The site, however, declined in popularity around the 2000s, likely due to the ban on porn or like explicit content or queer effects. Like that seemed to drive away a lot of the fan base and user base to go to like other sites like AO3, which was established because of the ban on fanfiction.net, or Wattpad, which are the Wattpad and AO3. They're still pretty popular today, with I think AO3 being more popular of the two. Fanfiction, I feel like in recent years definitely has grown to more mainstream success than it used to, because like I feel like I see more people talking about it like on TikTok or even in shows, or like creators talking about fanfiction a lot more than it used to, because I feel like there still is like a taboo and a stigma around it, which I'll get to, but I feel like it is growing less. With that said, let's move on to talking about the stigma. When I say the words fanfiction, I think there's like two things that come to mind for anyone who doesn't like actively read fanfiction, and that is one, like just pure smut fics, which is like fair. I think there is a decent amount of fanfiction that is smut fics, but that's not here nor there. The second thing would be like those cringy like Wattpad self-insert, cringy with like quotations. I realize you can't see my hands, but like cringy self-insert, like I was sold to One Direction, with like those type of fics, you know? First off, to like adjust that first stigma of fanfiction just being pure smut, I think a decent chunk of fanfiction does contain smut. Like I don't want to say that it doesn't, and I also don't want to say that it's a bad thing that a lot of fanfiction contains smuts, like contains smut singular. Um, I think it is like that is true, and like I don't think it makes fanfiction any less bad. The fact that it does have like a lot of smut fics, but I want to address the fact that a lot of fanfiction is not smut. Like there's a lot of fanfiction that do not have romantic relationships at all, and I want to like highlight that fact, because I feel like a lot of people, like when you bring up fanfiction, they just think of the smut scenes and smut fics and whatever, you know. I think this assumption really mainly comes from like three different kind of things. I think it comes from the popularity of 50 Shades of Grey, which is, I think it's an open secret that it's like a reskinned Twilight fanfiction that was just like made popular and like published in traditional media and stuff. And I feel like because when people read that, because I've heard the book is like 99% smut, so I feel like people read that and they think, oh, this is what all fanfiction is like, when I don't think that's the case. But also I think the second reason I think that fanfiction has like such a smut-based reputation is that it's confirmation bias. If people go to fanfiction looking for smut, either to prove that fanfiction is just smut or to read smut because smut's not very available in the mainstream, then they'll just find a lot of smut because there is, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to say it's not bad, but it just is. Which brings me to my third point. Fanfiction is like the main place to find like these stories about explicit content or about queer content, like not even explicit queer content, but I feel like the two get linked a lot, because I feel like a lot of the queer, a lot of the demographic of fanfiction readers and writers is queer and like women, and I think it does eventually lead to stigma around fanfiction being mainly smut, because you can go to fanfiction to find the content that you can't find mainstream, like smut, for example. I think it's an unfair assumption that leads to a lot of people like devaluing or like placing this taboo around fan fiction, like saying that it's like all, like I don't know, like it's not good literature, or it's all this like bad amateur writing and stuff. But I don't think that's true at all. And I think one of the reasons is like purity culture. The other reason is like don't like by queer people or women. Which brings me to like my next point, why I think there's such a stigma on fanfiction, which is that like the second view of fanfiction is just cringy. I think again there's like two reasons I can think of why people really make this assumption, which I don't think is like true at all. Because if you've read fanfiction, and I've read fanfiction that is like better than some books I've read, you know. And if you read fanfiction, I'm sure you have as well. But yeah, I think the assumption is mainly because one, the accessibility of fanfiction, like this there's such an access to be able to like write and read fanfiction that there isn't with published books. Like if you're like an amateur writer or like getting into writing for the first time, it's just really easy to like go online, post that onto any kind of fanfiction site. Where if you want to go publish a real book, it's like money and time that goes behind that, which I don't think there is in fanfiction. So there will be a large amount of amateur writers or writers who are writing for the first time present, and I don't think that's like a bad thing. It just means that there will be a greater average of amateur writing on the site, which is like I think there needs to be a place for writers to be able to write stuff. There should be a place where amateurs are able to publish their stuff, and I don't think there's an expectation of good quality when you're getting it for free, you know. Whereas for books and mainstream media, like you're paying for that, so you expect at least a high quality of writing, you know. The second reason I think fanfiction is devalued in this way is, like I said, a lot of the demographic is women and queer people, and like historically, a lot of work done by these communities is always devalued, and like anything liked by women or like even teenage girls, you can see the phenomena, the phenomenon of it, like it being devalued or seen as cringe or like less like be seen as like weaker media. I don't lesser media, I guess. I don't really know like fully what I'm trying to think of, but yeah, like I think those are two main reasons you won't really see a lot of people in the mainstream talk about fanfiction, or if they are, it's talking about it in this like lesser way. Also, I know I said I only had two reasons, but actually I have a third reason I think that it's devalued, fanfiction is devalued is because like people tend to like look down upon people who like in quotation marks overly obsess over like any kind of media. Like people look down on people who care, you know? This whole like era of like nonchalance. Anyone who is chalant is like mocked, I guess. Like it's been like I'm not saying like on a global scale that's true, but on a personal scale it definitely is true. Like I find it to be true for my life. I think the relationship between fanfiction and Minecraft YouTube, or to be more general, like fanfiction and any kind of YouTube-based fandom, is like really interesting, especially when you compare the relationship to from creators to fanfiction when you compare it to any other kind of fan content like fan art. Like fanfiction always seems to be like a topic like don't bring up fanfiction around the creators, or like don't talk about fanfiction like in front of the creators, or it's made fun of by the creators in some regards. Like I remember there's this really popular old kind of video where like it was people like the creators would go back and read fan fiction written about them. I remember that used to be like popular 2019-ish. Like I know Lizzie and Joel did a video on it, and I think Jack Manifold did a video like it in 2024-ish, but I could be wrong on those dates. I think this mainly has to do with like the stigma around fan fiction, as like mentioned before in the entire previous section, as well as the fact that fan fiction is like seen more parasocial. Like I think I can't say because I don't have personal experience, but I do think is viewed to be more kind of intimate than other kinds of fan creation. I think one of the main reasons this is because fan fiction started off as TF, since there was not like a lot of it wasn't old Minecraft YouTube content wasn't so roleplay heavy in the way it is now. Like I definitely think there was a lot of roleplay. Like there's a lot of roleplay aspects in the content, but like not in the way it is today, you know? Like I think there wasn't really a clear distinction between character and creator, which I feel like is like there is more like you would not compare Vampires Owen to content creator Owen in the same way I think you'd like compare Dan TDM from that one series he did with the real creator Dan TDM, you know? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Like this old series of Dan TDM where he did like he went into oh wait, was it Stampy? I think it was Stampy. Yeah, it was Stampy, my bad. It was Stampy and he like went into this world and then it was like also a way to teach kids science or something. Like I have a very, very like vague nostalgic memory of this and I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm talking about. Like I think the line between character and creator is a lot more clearer now, which is also like that's my second point is like the line between character and creator is definitely more blurry than it is in any kind of media. Like if you watch a TV show, you're not comparing the character to the creator, like or even to the actor. Like I think there's a very distinct line there, which I don't think like there is a line, but I think the line is a lot more blurry depending on what series you're watching. Like there are definitely some more lore heavy series, which is you can definitely make the clear distinction between character and creator, but there's definitely like a lot lighter in like lore series that where the line is like blurry. Like also in the Judas and B, like it was kind of obvious they're all playing characters, but also how much of the characters came from characteristics of the creators, you know? There's also the character of the creator, since like it's not always like I feel like every YouTuber to an extent is putting on a like greater facade of their personality just to be more like appealing to camera, which I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think it exists, and I think sometimes people will some people will write fan fiction about the character of the creator as opposed to the character that the creator is playing, just like the character version of the creator. Is it like not the real? I don't know. I hope that made sense. But like, yeah, basically, I think the line between character and character of the creator is very blurry. And for this third one, it's not something I can attest to because I've had no personal experience. But I feel like maybe fanfiction can feel more personal. Or like writing, maybe you can get like maybe it feels like to these creators that some people are talking about. Maybe when like a creator's reading RPF or reading about like fanfiction, they might like interpret it to be more personal to them than fan art or other types of fan expression are. Like I don't personally know if that's true or not, but yeah. Also, I feel like fan fiction is felt to be more of a fan space as opposed to like fan art, where I feel like if you're making fan art, like of course not like I don't mean this like to be the truth for everyone, but I feel like most people make fan art for it to be seen by creators, where I feel like fan fiction is made for other fans. So I feel like there's definitely like a line there why I think like fan fiction is not viewed so popularly as fan art is. I also I want to add that I don't think that fanfiction is demonized in like all Minecraft YouTube circles. I think it is becoming like more accepted in like Minecraft YouTube communities. Like you'll see the Vampires SMP crew talk about it, and you'll see the Fable SMP cast talk about it, and you'll see like I think it is becoming more like understood. I feel like more people are understanding that it's just another form of fan expression as opposed to like an attack. I don't know. I don't know how it was viewed before, but like I feel like it is being seen more by like creators and it's not being like devalued as such, you know? I feel like also one of the interesting parts of the relationship between the Minecraft YouTube fandom, like I think one of the interesting things about Minecraft YouTube and fandom is the relationship between the Minecraft YouTube fans and fanfiction. Like Minecraft is like one of the like largest tags on AO3 as of 2020. I don't know from before 2020, but at least as of 2020, it was like one of the top like tags. My source is this AO3 account that called Toasty Stats that has like tracks all of this stuff, I think. And also video blogging RPF, which is I feel like a lot of Minecraft YouTube is tagged as video blogging RPF, even if it's not accurate. Like a lot of Jameson B Fix have the tag like Tommy in it RPF, all this other stuff, you know. So I know even though a lot of video blogging RPF is not from Minecraft YouTube, I think at least like a small amount of the like how large RPF the video blogging RPF is, I think that can be at least partly attributed to Minecraft YouTube. In 2022, like the Judas SMP is one of the top 26 fandom tags with the most fan works. And in 2022, the Minecraft fandom tag had the highest number of fixed with the tag no romantic relationships, which is also a really interesting thing because like I find that a lot of fandoms that have, you know, it's a mostly queer demographic, and I think also like a lot of fandoms are very ship heavy or ship focused. Not to say like there are that's all that every single fandom except for Minecraft fandom is. Like there's definitely fics that aren't that, but I do feel like most fandoms I find myself in, it is very ship heavy. Whereas I think Junior SMP, which was like my first main fandom, was not really like most of the fics were not ship fics. They were mostly focused on like the character, like platonic relationships and familiar relationships, which as someone who really doesn't like reading romance all that much, I think like it is something I really genuinely appreciated and like one of the things that got me into the fandom. And I know it's like different like Minecraft YouTube fandoms have like different amounts of ship fic to no romantic relationship ratio. But yeah, I just think it's like really interesting how much of like Minecraft YouTube fanfiction is really not really focused on romantic relationship as opposed to other fandoms. One of the main reasons I think there's so much fanfiction in the Minecraft YouTube sphere, like it is like one of the biggest fandoms, is because a lot like the nature of Minecraft YouTube tends to be very interpretive. Like using the dream snippet as an example, like small details like character backstories or like even it, like character backstories or specific actions, it leaves a lot of room for the like writers or the fans to interpret stuff, which you can also see in fan art. Like since a lot of Minecraft skins they don't have to look like real people, you'll see a lot of interpretation there of like what certain skins look like. Like if you look at issues of Thousand Player Civilization, like Saparata's skin, like you can see like a lot of fun interpretations there with what it looks like because his skin is not like a normal kind of guy, right? And which I find like is really, really like it's one of my favorite parts. Like just the level of interpretation is that's available from Minecraft YouTube that I think is very specific to Minecraft YouTube because of the medium of Minecraft. It inspires a lot of fan fiction and fan creation as a general to be created, which I think that's like another interesting aspect of the relationship between Minecraft YouTube and fan fiction. I think fanfiction has like a really bad rep, even though like it is being looked upon more favorably. I do think it was, or like it, there is this air of taboo that still surrounds it, which although it is listening, it is like it's lessening. Like I think it is becoming more accepted, and I think there is like something to do with that and like the rising amount of queer stories being told through Minecraft YouTube. But I'm not like smart enough to make that connection. But I know there's something there. I know there is, and I hope with this video I could probably explain like my thoughts on one, well, how I think fanfiction and Minecraft YouTube are so like what is so interesting about the relationship between the two, and yeah, I think that Minecraft YouTube fans have contributed a lot to fandom, and I hope that's recognized. If you like this video, please let me know by leaving a like or a comment. If you want me more content like this, subscribe. It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. So if you stuck around this far, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.